looking at the capabilities of your Wi-Fi connection, what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the embedded apps in YouTube to evaluate your download speed, which is often referred to as your bandwidth for download, stability of the signal, and the resolution that you may be getting. In YouTube, which is an app that many people utilize nowadays, there's a new setting in some of the YouTube apps that has to be adjusted for 4K. We're also going to cover that. First, we're going to press the home key on the remote. We're going to access the YouTube app. Now, once we're in the YouTube app, because of bandwidth requirements and the capabilities of the product, what we want to do is we want to search for something like 4K 60 frames per second. 4K is your resolution, frames per second is going to increase the required bandwidth. And if we want to search again, search for HDR, which is high dynamic range content, you can add that if you so choose. Now we're going to use this video as a sample. If you do choose HDR, your HDR icon will show up in the upper right-hand corner if that capability is turned on inside the television software. If I press the thumb wheel, I get a sub-menu. This sub-menu, I'll have to access More, which are more options. Now, first thing we want to look for is this 4K under quality. 4K under quality, if it's not blue, you're not actually receiving 4K. Some of these are presets that you have to change the setting for. If you click on this, see, I'm actually receiving 720p. I'm actually receiving 720p. There is also in some TVs an auto setting that you can select. What we want to do is we want to change this to 2160p 4K. Now, our 4K icon is blue. What we want to do now is go over here to the far right where it says Stats for Nerds, so we can look at what we're actually receiving, the stability of the incoming information. Now let's analyze this. Notice on the left, third line down, it says current and optimal. Optimal resolution is the maximum resolution that YouTube server is delivering to the TV. Current resolution is the resolution here, the resolution the TV is actually receiving. Down here, the fourth one up from the bottom is your connection speed. The connection speed is extremely critical because this 68 meg is measuring, this number right here is actually measuring our download speed. This download speed has to maintain over 25 megabytes per second. If it's 4K content, over 50 megabytes per second if it is 8K content that is being played. Network activity is telling us how much activity there is on the network. But the main thing we want to look at is this megabytes per second. If this drops below the required 25 megabytes for 4K or 50 megabytes for 8K, then the resolution shown here under current will drop to a lower resolution to prevent buffering. Once this megabytes per second increases over the required minimum for a small period of time consistently, then the resolution will raise back up to a high resolution equal to the optimal resolution again. If your internet is not very stable, then this will not be very consistent.